About 200 years ago, there was a camp of soldiers from the French army, and many of them were getting sick. It was almost as if they had a bad case of the flu. The soldiers all had a fever, chills, headaches. Some of them were vomiting. Some soldiers got so sick that they died. This was very serious. No one could figure out where the disease was coming from. The army camp was located near a swamp, so some people thought the disease might be coming from the stinky swamp air. They named the disease malaria, from the words mala aria, which meant bad air. But at the time, no one understood what really caused malaria. The army asked a doctor, Dr. Alphonse Laveran, to see if he could figure out what was causing the soldiers to get sick. Dr. Laveran started his investigation by looking at the soldiers' blood under a microscope. Usually, this is what blood looks like under a microscope. But in soldiers with the disease, Dr. Laveran noticed that this is what their blood looked like. You notice those strange dark dots? When Dr. Laveran looked more closely, he realized that those dots were actually microscopic parasites, a type of germ, and he thought these might be what's causing the malaria disease. But to stop more soldiers from getting sick, Dr. Laveran had to figure out where were these germs coming from. He went to the swamp and he checked everywhere. He checked the air, he checked the water, he checked the soil, but he couldn't find these germs in any of these places. Then he realized the swamp had more than just bad smelling air. It had lots of mosquitoes. They were everywhere. Could it be that the mosquitoes were carrying these germs? Even though mosquitoes suck blood out of a person, when they do that, some of the mosquitoes' saliva or spit gets into a person's body. So, if mosquitoes did carry any microscopic germs inside their bodies, that means those germs might get passed straight into someone's blood when a mosquito bites. Years later, Dr. Laveran's idea was proven correct. Mosquitoes were responsible for spreading the germs that cause malaria. And it's not just malaria. Mosquitoes were discovered to carry germs that cause other diseases too. Diseases with names you might have heard of, like West Nile virus, Zika virus, and yellow fever. So, mosquitoes aren't dangerous because their bite makes you itch. They're dangerous because their bite can spread germs that cause different kinds of diseases. Every year, over 500 million people still get sick from diseases spread by mosquitoes. Luckily, scientists have discovered medicines that can help people get healthy again if they do get some of these diseases. But it's still very serious. If people don't get medical help, some of these diseases can lead to death. In trying to learn more about diseases spread by mosquitoes, scientists have noticed that many of these diseases are more common in some places in the world than in other places. For example, this map shows the places where malaria is most common. Notice how all of these places are places near the middle regions of the Earth, places near the equator. These are the warmest places on Earth, what we call the tropics. Although mosquitoes are found all over the world, except Antarctica, the tropics have the most mosquitoes, which might explain why diseases carried by mosquitoes are more common in the tropics. But why would that be? Why would there be more mosquitoes living in the tropics compared to other places? What do you think?